So often in spring, the snowpack becomes one big layer, and right on the top of that layer we start to see the nighttime temperature and the daytime temperature affecting that. Sometimes we'll get a crust and it'll freeze, other times it'll just melt and it'll become quite soft and wet. The tests we can use in the mornings especially and throughout the day to see how strong that layer is or how weak is the penetration tests, and we can just use our poles as we go along. The good thing with this test is we can test often and right across the slope. So as we go, we just need to tap, trying to apply the same force as we tap down through the snowpack. And if we meet a lot of resistance, that's a strong layer. If it's really weak and it punches through, that's a weak layer. We can also do it on the way up as we push off, and we can pull up the basket off to the side so we can feel the bottom of that harder or stronger layer. If you do find these, get right down and use your hands. And here we've got a bit of a crust on the surface, and then lower down it's really weak and sort of mushy snow. So the cold air in the evening is freezing from the top down. Underneath it's really well insulated and it stays quite weak. So at this time of year you'll see in very steep terrain these glide cracks opening up where the whole snowpack is creeping down the hill under its own weight. Really be careful in those zones, the places to avoid. They're very hard to predict when they might release. So stay safe out there. Have a good look at the Varsom. They're giving out some great advice, and we'll see you out on the slopes.